Hey up troops, it's alyttleton here again with another video. Just washing my hair here in the showers in Oregon. It's a bit weird how we keep crossing paths in the showers. Anyway, this time we're going to talk about how to attack top floor in Oregon around the kids games area. So I'm going to try and keep the structure the same as other attack videos where we go through where to enter, pre-placed drones, grenades from below, how to execute, where to plant, etc, etc. I find it, look, I'm going to be real with you, I find it difficult to do these videos that I feel where they flow. So hopefully, again, this comes across where it makes sense and I'm not just blabbering on going, oh, do this, do this, do this. I know it's difficult to get the format across without breaking it down into a 45-minute video, which is something that I would love to do, but no one's watching 45 minutes on how to attack on Oregon. Right, I'm just going to go and dry my hair. I think it's probably enough waffling. Let's get stuck into it. Okay, so just like all good ideas should start Microsoft Paint. We're attacking Oregon top floor, okay? Now, what we're going to need to do, and I just want to demonstrate this on this drawing here, is you need to create pressure from two different sides. Now, those two different sides, in my idea, is going to be through Big Tower, through the attic wall, and then also through bedroom, through the closet wall. Now, the way you're going to do that is this wall here is going to be key as well. Now, the way that people play this wall a lot recently, they make lines of sight across it, but this area of the map here is key, and this area of the map here is key. Eventually, what you want to be doing is planting on the default plants behind the pool table, behind the foosball table football thing. Now, at some point, you might have a player that lurks up white stairs because he's a great angle onto kids in here when they're looking to try and get across to stop the plant here. Excuse me, I'm aware that I'm putting a lot of ink on this page and it's slowly not meaning a lot. But ultimately, what I wanted to show you is it makes a bit more sense when you look top down, right? So if everybody pushes this direction, this whole side of the map, this whole side of the map is completely free to just and not have to worry about anything. If you push this side of the map and this side of the map, which will take this room also and this room, you've then got a lot more control and the defenders can only be here and here safely. Also maybe here, but you're going to push them out of there eventually. So I just wanted to show you that top down to give you an idea that the reason you push from both sides is you cause problems like a sort of pincer effect type thing. So the round started, prep phase, pre-placed drones, and there's 2 or 3 pre-placed drones that I want to show you. Number 1 is down here in garage. This is a really easy one to get. Jump up here onto the metal cabinet, and then jump up onto the bigger cabinet. Drive that along and leave it there. Don't move it. This drone will give you so much information because defenders often get bored. If you don't push their side of the map, especially in lower elo, defenders get bored and start looking for action because they can't stand waiting for 60 seconds until something happens. So leave this drone here. It doesn't give you a massive amount of information when it comes to the push, but it'll give you information on when they're flanking and where. It's really useful. The next one is you want to go outside. This is at the start of the round. You want to jump up onto this handrail just here, then up onto the lamp, and then up onto the balcony. You can do this from jumping on the van if you want to. I'll show you that as well. You can get up here from the van, but you have to turn the drone sideways a little bit just to get up there. When you're up here, jump to this area here, but do not go through the door straight away. If you go through the door straight away, there's going to be an alibi or someone who's putting utility in bedroom who's going to kill your drone. So don't go through the door straight away. Just have a little scout to make sure that there's nobody there. As long as there's nobody there, in you go behind the TV, and then up onto the flag. And just leave that drone there. Don't leave it at an angle where it protrudes out of the flag. You don't want to make it obvious. You just want to leave it here. This is going to give you 2 bits of information. 1, your main hard breacher that's going to push up to this balcony is going to be able to check if this room is clear. But 2, you're going to be able to see if there's any sneaky people doing a little spawn peek from master bedroom door. Okay? The third drone that you're going to want to place is going to be Big Tower, and that's for everyone that spawns over this side of the map. So again, in prep phase, send your drone over to Big Tower. You should have no issue getting this up here because everyone's on the other side of the map. So you want to come up these stairs, jump up onto this little case, sort of chest thing here, up onto the electrical box, then up onto the rafter. Actually, get up onto the rafter though. Let's try that again. Take 2. No one saw that, right? I ended up catching myself on that beam there, so just step a little bit further out this time. There we go. Up onto the rafter and head over into the corner and leave that there. And all this is for your guy that's going to push attic. It's going to enable him to just check that Big Tower's clear before they go in. Simple as that. Okay, so entry. You're going to enter onto 3 points of the map. You're going to enter into garage, you're going to enter into master, and you're going to enter into Big Tower on the other side of the map. The 3 places where we put the drones. I'm not going to do a full 5-person push, but this is just based off 3. If you're decent attacker, you're gonna, not me, needs to get in here. My drone isn't in garage anymore, but let's pretend my drone is still up there. Before you go in, you need to check that this hatch is closed. If the hatch is open, you need to come up with a different plan. You can't go in there if that hatch is open, because someone's going to be holding the hatch, okay? If the hatch is closed, in you come, take garage, and just hold this. Occasionally have a look to make sure no one's coming past Z or Z if you're not from America. Just hold this angle here. Hold this for 40 seconds at the start of every round. I can guarantee you a kill in lower elo. Higher elo, not so much. No one's going to be running through split a bit later on. But if you're in bronze, copper, silver, gold, if your entry just hangs here just for 30, 40 seconds, someone will run down here or someone will run through here. I can almost guarantee you. Your next entry, we'll come on to what they do in a second. We'll go back over to the other side of the map. Hopefully this is making sense. This is all happening at the same time, by the way. So your guy goes in garage the same time that you go into big tower, the same time that you go to master. 3 different players. So you've got your drone in big tower, by the way, before I get up here. If you're spawning this side, you just got to watch for a couple of spawn peaks on your way to the building. When you get to here, someone could be spawn peeking you from the window up here, so just be careful there. And then also the window itself here. But anyone, what people tend to do, or what people can do, is open this door at the end of the prep phase so the drone doesn't hear it. And they wait here, and they listen for the footsteps. And 1, they can hold you from this door, but 2, what tends to happen is people run around this corner, throw the drone there, and then just sit here and go on the drone, and they get ran out on. Or, they wait for the sound of the rappel, and get you as you're rappelling. So just be aware of that, try and be careful. What I always do is when I'm running up this side of the map, I'll go behind this cover here, and I'll just double check that that door's closed. Then we check the drone. Big tower's clear, and in we go. And that's your second entry. So you've got 1 person garage, 1 person big tower. In an ideal world, you want 2 people pushing big tower. And ideally, again, 1 could be a Maverick. If Maverick pushes big tower, you're never ever not going to get big tower open. Obviously, you count as mute, bandit, K. There's nothing that can stop Maverick. So if you're pushing this as ace on your own, though, bear in mind, you can open walls if they're bandited, or even caded, depending where the cade claw is. You can do that with ace on your own. So if you were to go down underneath big tower, give yourself a chance and ping the wall. You can see where the wall is. You can just Salma below. And that's going to open the floor. That'll get any batteries that are underneath. And then you can open the wall yourself. Remember, if your ace is pushing master bedroom, you can do the same with closet. The closet wall is just the other side of this lamp. So this is the lamp, the closet wall's about here. Again, you could throw a Salma there, and that will get any batteries off the wall. I often have to do this myself in solo queue. If I'm pushing master, I won't go into the map. I'll come to here, and I'll throw a Salma on the floor to make sure it's just the other side of that lamp. Now, cool random fact. If you're on defense, and you see this a lot in Pro League, if you want to defend this wall, you can open the floor here. Give me a second. You can open the floor here, ideally with a shotgun so it's easier to see. And when this wall is getting opened, there we go. When this wall is getting opened, you can throw an impact grenade onto the lamp below. Oh, excuse me, how rude of me. Shoot the radio. You can throw an impact grenade onto the lamp below here, and that will then destroy the thermite charge, the ace Salmas, or the Habana pallets that are on the other side of this wall. So you can impact check this wall, just throw an impact onto that lamp below, and that'll get the stuff off the other side of the wall. Really useful trick. So we've entered into garage, we've entered into big tower, and now we've got to enter into master. Now this is the trickiest place to enter out of all those 3, because you're generally going to have somebody playing trophy here, or these walls are open. I'm going to run out of ammo at this rate. So you can have somebody playing trophy or playing an attic. And the person from attic can hold you all the way from here. Person in trophy obviously will be playing trophy door around here. It's just not an easy place to play. Now the beauty of entering from here is, if you need to, once the stuff's off the wall, you can open the wall from outside the map. You don't necessarily need to go in there to do what you need to do. Just a word of warning, this is a completely random tip. What you'll find is if you, and this is again around sort of plat elo, Players love to do this. What they'll do is they'll play mute. They'll put a mute jammer here and a mute jammer here. And possibly even sometimes a mute jammer here. So you can't get a drone through the door no matter what you do. And what they'll do is just sit here with a shotgun prone like this. And wait for you to come through the door. Because you can't drone. So eventually you get tired of waiting to drone. And you just think, well, no one's going to be there. And there's a mute on the floor with a shotgun. Now, if you get to this area of the map here. And there's a mute jammer on the floor. Get off the balcony. Stand here if you have to. Although you could still get a C4 from here. And drone up the stairs. Go up main stairs. Where's my other drone? Get yourself up main stairs. Come around here. Check what's in this room. Yes, it takes an extra 20 seconds. It's bloody annoying as well because you've got to start messing about with drones and you've got to move your drone from where you want it to somewhere else. But imagine getting here and you go, oh, mute is actually there. You're never ever going to win this fight if you swing this against a mute shotgun. I don't care how good you are. You're never going to win it against a mute that can at least shoot a shotgun anyway. So that's only if there's a mute jammer here. If there's no mute jammer here, there's probably not going to be anyone here. But always just make sure you drone it, and you can check it by the drone that we left up on the flag. So if you're playing Ace and you're entering this area of the map, once you've got control of this, and look, I know I say, oh, once you've got control, as if it's dead easy. Like, oh, just get control of this area. Just get control of the busiest room on the map. But that's what we're trying to do. So I'm going to pretend that life's easier. You then want to throw a Salma at the bottom half of this wall. You don't want to make a vault rotate here, or a vault entry hole. You want to throw it lower down, like so. Then what you want to do is throw one higher up this side, and then shoot the second Salma. So here, you've now got an entrance where you can walk through. And this side, I know we shot the second Salma, but when you're playing Attic, I talked about this on the Ace video. When you look at that there, you'll never believe that an Ace can see over that wall, right? And even if they can, it's only a small amount of your head that is on show. So, what you need to do is stand on this here. So you can't see over that at the minute, but if you stand on the rail, we can now see into Attic. You could even get away with throwing that Salma a little bit higher up. But you can now hold this angle and wait for anyone to peek Attic. Anyone who's in Attic, I should have bought breach charges here, but you know the rotate that's normally here. Anyone that's in Attic is holding this. And is not thinking that your head's just going to be here. So use that little vault up on the clothes rail, this here, and you can do this with Maverick as well. So if you wanted to make a Maverick hole there and then a line across here, the only thing with Maverick is it's drastically more obvious that there's a line of sight that someone could be watching. But yeah, step up onto this. You can see how it boosts you. Well, you can now hold into Attic. Okay, so we're getting close to the execute. We're getting close to being able to start looking at putting the diffuser down or thinking about putting the diffuser down. There's a couple more things we need to think about. Is one, free kills from below, which I talk about on every how to attack video. And there's two places we can get most free kills from below. One is inside kids. Now, there's going to be usually someone playing around here or someone playing near the hatch or watching big window from this kind of angle here. If that's the case, use the hatch as reference to know the sort of layout of the room from below. We can see the hatch is there, therefore the soft wall that leads to big window is here. We've got the bed that people hide behind here. The window is roughly here. The attic rotate is around here. Or here, sorry, should I say, it's a bit further back. So you've sort of got the layout of the room below by using the hatch as reference. So if you can get information in there, a drone obviously would be ideal. If you can hop on through a big window from a different player and just try and get an idea and you say, oh yeah, he's by the drawers, you know that's going to be here. Now the beauty of this room is it's almost designed to have grenades from below thrown because you can use these counters to throw the grenades on top of and you don't have to cook it perfectly to get it to go off like on the ceiling. You can throw a grenade up on that counter. It doesn't have to be cooked perfectly, but it will stay on the counter and then will blow up from underneath. Just be aware, the less time that you cook it, the defender will be aware that there's a grenade below them because you still get the marker through the floor. The beauty of grenades from below is if you time them right, is the defender never sees that marker come, so they never even know it's coming. If you just throw a fresh grenade on top of that cabinet here, and the person above sees it, they're going to know there's a grenade below them, so they're going to move. So you have still got to time it right, but it definitely helps by having these containers, or these cabinets, sorry, to be able to throw it on top of. So that's your first place for a grenade below. Your second place is around here. So if we just bring the drone out of kids and go over to top right, where am I? I've lost my bearings. Here we go. The other one is a place called Hobo, which is where people tend to play sometimes. They'll try and hold big window from here. They'll try and hold the trophy door from here. But it's around this area here. And again, you can use bottom white as a reference. You can even do this from the window. You don't even have to be in the map to throw. I haven't got any grenades to throw, but to throw the grenade from below on Hobo, most people are going to be around that area there on 1, and you'll be able to just get that free grenade from below there as well. So there's 2 places where you've potentially got a chance of getting a grenade from below. There's also, if people are getting fruity, they could be playing here in games room early doors before the breach is open, and obviously all of this floor is soft as well. If someone's bandit tricking, which I don't recommend doing on this map, if you try and bandit trick this wall, you're going to die. But you could potentially around here, maybe, but they're your general spots. The other one, whilst I'm thinking about it, is some people will play like a Malusi Banshee on the wall there, and they'll wait for the Banshee to go off, and then swing once the information from the Banshee comes. So throwing a grenade here sometimes works as well. And I'll just show, have I got my drone downstairs still? I brought it upstairs. Let me just show you. So that area there is right outside freezer door. The 2 doors line up pretty much, okay? So above freezer door, if you've got somebody who's playing top white, they'll hold big window. And then this area, and they'll just be using this as cover. And then they can also use, this will be a rotate here as well, obviously. You can also play the breach, big window, and top white. If someone's, you sometimes play smoke, because then they can smoke off the stairs, they can smoke off the window, and smoke off the breach. It's a good place to play, but it's a difficult place because you've got 3 areas to watch, but you can get rid of them from a grenade below if you need to. So, we've got pre-placed drones. We've entered the building. We've grenaded from below. Now we've got to think about planting. So, remember the Maverick or the Ace that's over in attic? This is where they need to start getting fruity. So, this wall is now open. We've got to start pushing pit, and this is not an easy thing to do because you're generally going to have someone playing pit. And, oh, by the way, please watch for the frost mat here. Please, I urge everyone to watch for the frost mat here. So, someone's going to be playing pit. It's not easy to do. There's going to be an ADS. There's going to be one of my discs, but grenades here are your friend. Grenades or Capitao to flame off this area. The problem is, even once you get to the end here, dropping is difficult because you're going to be held from the rotate. But just remember, you can peek the rotate without falling off the attic. Not like what I just did. But you can still peek that from here. You don't have to drop and then try and fight. So, you know, if you need to peek the door and then peek here, remember, people will try and hold from behind the bed. So you can shoot the toesies if they're not peeking. If they're like on a drone or on a cam here, the bottom of the bed here, you can shoot the toes. You can kill them that way as well. So, this is where the 2 pincer movements that we talked about at the beginning of the video come together. And I feel like I've talked about a lot of information here and quite quickly, and it's hard to digest. Doing these attack videos is not the easiest thing to try and put together because I don't feel like they flow very well. Like it's, and then you do this, and then you do that, and then you do that, and you're like, wait, what have I got to do again? Where's the ace going? So fingers crossed it makes some sense. But the point is, as you push through this way, you're also going to want to put pressure on the breach as well. And the 2 come together. The person on the breach needs to get here. And this is a really difficult task to do because you've got to go... To get from here to here, you've got to go past this door. And you've got to go past this rotate. And potentially someone swinging you from the kids' door as well. So in an ideal world, Ace would probably go to Big Tower. Or go to Big Tower, then come here. But ideally, you need someone with smokes, which is why Thermite is really good for this wall. Thermite can smoke here and smoke here. Or can smoke the rotate through this hole. Although it'd be Thermite, so this hole wouldn't be here, really. But if anyone with smokes, you can smoke the rotate and then smoke the door. You're much better off. What you see a lot is people try and smoke where they plant and then plant in the smoke. It's just very, very obvious that you're in the smoke if you do that. What you want to do is smoke off the lines of sight. It's a bit sort of CSGO-like, so they can't see. So you want to be smoking this door and you want to smoke this rotate. And then they can't even see. One little tip there is once you've smoked, the enemy's going to panic and think you're in that smoke, and they're going to unload a clip into the smoke straight away. The smokes last, I can't remember, is it about 7 or 8 seconds off the top of my head, I think? Unloading a mag takes 1.5 seconds. So just wait for that mag to go. They're going to have to stop and reload, and that's your time to get across. Now, the problem is at this point, you need cover. So you've got to get cover from here, and you've got to get cover from here. But that's what your teammates are there to do. Ideally, once the person pushes from attic, it's going to push the person away from this rotate. So getting pushed from here shouldn't be a problem because your guy in attic's going to be here or down in pit at this point. So being here now, this door should be free. You don't have to worry about being pushed from there. This can be tricky. Let's go back to the person that entered garage first. I think this is why I think it's difficult to follow. I feel like I'm just spouting information nonsensically. So ideally, your person in garage can hold this, and then we'll eventually make the way towards white stairs. They're going to have to do a bit of droning themselves. This is going to be your entry fragger or someone who's decent at gunning. They're going to make the way towards white stairs. Once they're at the top of white stairs, they can put the pressure on to stop you getting pushed from the rotate. And you see in an ideal world, when you draw up an execute and you draw up an attack on siege, it's so obvious, isn't it? Guy from attic pushes, guy from breach pushes, guy goes top white. What can the defenders do? Nothing. Obviously, the problem is when the guy from attic gets smoked by a swinging smoke or gets C4'd from through the hatch, through the meeting hatch, or whatever happens, that the beauty of siege of our round should play out so simply, right? But it never does because the defenders have got their own plan as well. In this attack, I've not mentioned any big window presence, and I've also not mentioned coming through small tower at all. Small tower is a really, really good place to enter from for one reason. You can, let me just get a drone down quickly. What's going to be the closest drone? It's going to be this one. The reason small tower is a really good place to enter is in the prep phase. You can come through this drone hole here. And you can either leave your drone here or go across to this rack, which is what I recommend. And see how like there's a bigger gap between the shelves there? Jump in here and leave your drone here and wait. And if no defender goes past this door or goes past where Ace is stood at the moment, you know that that side of the map is clear, right? If nobody crosses here, you know you can go straight into small tower without having to drone it because you know no one's gone past this area. What you'll have to do if you're playing with a team is say to your teammate, look, I'm going to spawn in at the small tower side of the map on the west side. Just hold this drone for me whilst I run to small tower, just to make sure that you don't get off this drone, run to the building, and then in that time, there's a Cavera that snuck into showers. Do you know what I mean? So just make sure nobody crosses this line. Like, draw an imaginary line from where Ace is all the way down here. If no one crosses that line, you know you can go into small tower. So entering small tower is a really good thing to do as well. With your third player, either enter garage, small tower, and then you just need to make your way to white stairs. That's the idea, really. So let me just go back around to the breach. If we can get it smoked off, perfect. If you've got the pressure in attic, you don't really need to worry about this door. You just got to worry about the rotate as you come across. But ideally, you've got that person top white who's going to be causing pressure as well. Get across to your plant area here and start planting in this area. Now, there's a couple of things to think about. If this is denied to you, there is another really good plant spot right here. And this is if you were pushing from attic and had the diffuser. You can also plant here. And bear in mind, the only place you can be pushed from here is if you were flanked or if someone turns the corner from hobo and comes around here. But as you're planting here, as you're tucked in planting here, you've got your teammate holding this angle. So that's like your sort of backup place, really. But in an ideal world, this is the safest place to plant by far. And also, if you ever need to grenade from below, there's an easy reference underneath. This also applies if you're defending, by the way, to see where the default plant spot is. There's an easy reference to remember where it is. Right here. Above these pictures, where the wallpapers stem from the wall. Have I still got a drone upstairs? No, I brought it downstairs. If we ping this, and then run upstairs, then we'll get there in time. I don't know, because we haven't got that rotate on top white. You can see that. Get back down there! In line with the wallpaper is where the default plant is. So if you need to hold it from below, the floor is soft. If you've got a grenade, for example, you can stop them diffusing from below as well. So in an ideal world, that's what we do. We enter small tower or garage, we enter big tower and master bedroom. And we have like a sort of pincer attack from attic and from the breach. And we want to plant here. Now what I haven't mentioned in this is nomad, gridlock, preventing flanks. You've got to watch the flank up main stairs. You have to. You've got to leave a drone here. You've got to watch the flank. Yes, you can put a nomad air jab here if you want to. And that just completely gets rid of that flank until you hear an impact grenade go off. Or if you hear the air jab go off, obviously. But yeah, getting an air jab above there is important. Which helps to stop the flank, because there's nothing worse if you're planting than late on in the round, the defender comes around to here and comes through the breach as you're planting, and it's happened to me loads of times, and you're like, oh, I've got a drone top main, did no one fancy watching that? So, there you go. I hope that's made some kind of sense. It's difficult to get it across, but I hope that's worked. Push master, push attic, get someone top white late on when you're going for the execute. Easy as that, innit? Can't go wrong. Yes, I'm still in the shower, but there we have it. That's how to attack on Oregon. Again, I've said it about 3 times in the video now. I just hope that makes some kind of sense. And look, I know it's easy when you're making a video to just go, just take white stairs, just take master bedroom, just push attic. I know it's a nightmare to do those kind of things and to come away on top. to push attic and to kill the person playing pit and to survive is a difficult thing to do. I get that. But in an ideal world is what I'm talking about, where everything runs smoothly, which I know never really happens in Siege. A massive thank you if you've got this far in the video. I really appreciate you watching. It's about time I got dressed, really. I'm sat in the showers in Oregon, obviously not at home with no clothes on. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!